You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's The Game After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's The Game After Show.
Yeah!
We are excited to be back. Thank you for watching. Bing is for doing. And we are doing another great show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. I am your host, Fallon Mercedes. And I don't know where I'm supposed to spin. Okay, here we are. Is that better? No? Okay. This way? All right.
Towards me.
Here, my producer's trying to give me cues. Okay, so you can find me online, fitwithfallon.com, or you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at fitwithfallon. I'm here with my beautiful, lovely co-host.
Oh, where?
You.
Where? Oh,
She's so humble, she doesn't even know that she's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You were looking beautiful in that yellow.
Thank you.
Okay,
You're so crazy.
Introduce yourself. Go
I
ahead.
am Megan Thomas. You could also find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. This episode, though.
Yes, this is episode 14 of season 6, and it is called Photo Shoot Fresh. And we open up the episode with a kind of fresh scene. We see Mr. Malik with Reese, who I can say is finally naked in the jacuzzi. It was so awkward
Right.
last season because she went into the jacuzzi trying to be sexy, and she had her clothes on. I'm like, sweetie, that's not how you do it. Like, that was a beautiful dress. You're gonna ruin it. So finally, she got the hint. Let me take my my dress off, and her and Malik are just kind of flirting, talking about, oh, you know.
No, they're not flirting. They just finished doing it.
Okay, so what do you call that after they've did the duty?
They did the do.
But what do you call that if it's not
Post
flirting?
booty.
Okay, so it's.
I don't know. They just did it. I don't know. I don't like. As the weeks go on, I don't like Reese. I start to dislike her more and more. I loved her when she first came on because I felt like she's going to take Malik to the next level. She's going to be really professional, and now she's sleeping with him, and I just.
Oh, I didn't like her at all. I'm sad. Yeah, I'm starting to like his assistant more.
Right.
Now
and
that
it was the roles are reversed because
Yes.
I used to hate her because I was like, oh, this little skanky assistant. She's a yes man, yes woman. And now we see that she's on the up and up. She's a mother, single mom.
Yeah. So let me catch you guys up if you didn't see the episode. So they're both in the jacuzzi. They're flirting, post booty, whatever you want to call it.
Post-bootay.
Then we see like football flying to the jacuzzi, and they're both like, well, what is going on? You see this little boy run up, and we're like, who is this little boy? Then his assistant runs behind him. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And you could see the look in Malik's face, like, is that my son?
He's like, who is this little kid? He's like, he's dumbfounded. He doesn't know what's going on. Did you think it was his son?
Oh, no, not at all. I don't think they've known each other that long.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
But you see, after that scene, he was like, who's the father? She's like, it's not you.
Yeah.
Why would he think that, though? So maybe they had been messing around for a while.
Maybe. Yeah, I've never seen her in other seasons. This is the first time that we got introduced to her character. Excuse me. So I just assumed that's definitely not his son, but it was nice to see a warm, loving, motherly side to her, rather than the skanky,
party girl assistant just on the come up. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think Malik kind of viewed her in a different way after that. Like, oh, you're a mom. Maybe I should be treating you a little different. I
don't think so.
No,
because you heard what he says. He's just like, yeah, our HR department's a little lax here at Malik Wright Inc. I mean, it really is. But I think he's just like, do what you do, and I think he understands because his mother was a single mom and had to take him everywhere and, had to make it work. So in that sense, I think he gets her because he's gone through it himself. But I don't think he views her any different. She's still Tori the assistant.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that she told Malik who the baby daddy was, and I guess he's some big-time rapper that had one hit a long time ago, and he's kind of just a deadbeat dad now. He doesn't really do much.
Do you think? I didn't get the deadbeat dad part because maybe I think they just had typical baby daddy issues.
Drama.
Yeah. Or, baby mama, baby daddy drama, whatever. Because she said he's coming to pick his son up. He's just a little late. Maybe he went into traffic or something. But it seems like he does take care of his son, especially because we've never seen him nor heard about this son previously. Malik didn't even know about this son. So an assistant takes a lot of time with their employer.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a 9-to-5 type of job. So that means somebody's taking care of this kid. Maybe it's her mom, maybe whoever, grandparents.
Yeah.
But also maybe the dad. Franco might just be a pretty decent dad. Who knows?
Yeah,
Rapper Franco.
We'll have to wait and see later on. You guys out there, if you're watching or you're listening, we appreciate you so much. I know you have a fan shout out, right?
I do. Shout out to Ron Diesel, at Ron Diesel on Twitter. He hit us up and he said that he felt like this episode was a filler episode. What do you think?
I agree.
I agree with him.
I don't know if you remember, after we were done watching the episode, I said to myself, I was like, this is not enough.
Right.
This is not enough. There wasn't enough juice. I agree with him.
There should have been more, and there should have been more with the Keira scene, but we'll get into that.
Yes, we shall get into that. Again, you guys watching online, we appreciate you. Please rate, subscribe, tell a friend. How many stars do we want, Megan? 5 stars. We need 5 stars. Also, a shout out to Hannah, who is in the building.
Hello, Hannah.
Hannah, she's been helping me with my fitwithfallon.com. We've reached over 25,000 hits last week. She's a fitness correspondent, and I told her, I said, you have to come to AfterBuzz TV. You are going to love it. So we appreciate you being here in the building. Next time, we got to get you on a mic.
Right.
You guys can't hear her. All right, so back to what was the second scene in the episode?
So we then go to our favorite couple. Not really, not mine.
Oh yes,
Rick Fox and Tasha Mack. Which, by the way, I love what she said. She was like, "We're like Kim Ye." What'd she say? Rasha or Tick? And,
Tasha, no,
that doesn't work.
You are trying to be this power couple. Just no. I thought it was interesting to see a different side to Rick Fox this episode. We always kind of just see him as, Lakers guy who's macho, but
kind of airheaded.
Yeah, and he kind of seemed vulnerable in this episode. Tasha explained to him that there's this big photo shoot that Malik is doing to promote his new water, and he wanted all his friends and family to be in it, and including Rick Fox. And Rick Fox kind of was just like, count me out, Tasha. She's just like, why? I don't understand. We could be this power couple, like you were saying. And he's just like, everybody's going to be known for something. Malik is this star football player, entrepreneur. Tasha, she's this businesswoman, manager, and he explained himself as being a former athlete, a former Dancing with the Stars, a former, and you can definitely see that he has some self-esteem issues. And it's crazy because we see this in a lot of the older athletes in this series. Even Jason went through that when he stopped playing football and then he became a commentator. Now he's back on the scene again. He's kind of getting a little airheaded, a big-headed again, but
yeah, because it's tough when it's your glory days. You get to see all of the best of everything. You get to walk in clubs, walk in restaurants, get everything for free. Your name moves up to the top of the list for everything in life. You get parking places in the front,
I know,
grocery store, everything. So now you go from that life to a former has-been, or you used to do this. Oh, we remember when.
Yeah.
So you don't get as much of the glory. So that takes a big hit at your ego when you're used to having everything at your disposal at any time.
I wish we could call Brandon in Canada right now, because I know he's spoken of this many, many times. When we both graduated from college, he went on to be in the NFL, and he lived that glory days life. And then, when he was no longer in the NFL, and he experienced a lot of what Rick Fox seems to be experiencing. But he's on the come up. He is in Canada, ready to to get his glory
Brandon,
days.
go Brandon, go
He
Brandon.
called me and told me that the ESPN up there featured one of his touchdowns that
Yay,
he
good for
got.
him.
Yeah, so we're excited for him.
Brandon.
Yeah, so Rick Fox again was explaining some of his insecurities, but being a good man that he is, to be supportive of his woman and her son, he did show up at the photo shoot. So I thought that was nice of him.
Basically water photo shoot. By the way, what do you think about the actual photo shoot itself?
It was a mess. Your girl Reese, she is not professional.
I thought it was funny. No, I will say this. I'm glad she did hire some white people.
This is true.
This is true because she didn't hire the white people with nobody at that photo shoot, as we see. And also, she had a little diversity in there. So good job, Reese.
Yeah, I don't even know why she included everybody in it. I feel like it should have just been Malik. It just.
Well, I do too, but I think she was trying to, he has a lot of celebrity friends, his mom,
okay.
So I think they wanted to get a little more celebrity in there. And I mean, they didn't have to pay these people, which is amazing. So
yes.
Any marketer will tell you, if you can get somebody with a name and a bunch of Twitter followers for free, you do it.
Speaking of Twitter, make sure you follow us on Twitter and also AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV. Now, I think it was before the shoot, there was a scene with Keira and Blue, and they were in the gym working out. Again, they live in the same apartment complex, so they're both in the gym working out. Blue is showing off his star tattoos.
Why you don't like those stars? Well,
I love my Blue. I love my J. But those stars, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. But I am a fan of his acting. He always pulls it off. In this scene, they're working out together, and they go back and forth. Like, I know they're friends.
Just need to kiss. I mean, goodness gracious.
Or do it again and get it over with or something. So they're going back and forth, flirting and, telling each other off. And then Keira gets up after 2 minutes and Blue is just kind of making fun of her like, oh, that was a great workout 2 minutes later. So then cut to next scene where the photo shoot is going down. And Keira brings her little boo-boo, her little acting.
That just was stupid to me. I mean, okay, so Malik is doing this shoot for water. Why would you? And he asks his friends to come, but why is there +1s invited?
I know,
that doesn't make sense. Okay, maybe for your mom and Rick Fox, cool. That's like your mom and your stepdad, kind of. But everybody got to bring a +1. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I think, again, like you were saying earlier, it's that celebrity credibility, and Luke is also an actor.
True.
So maybe.
He's a star.
And he is beautiful to look at.
Shout out to LaMonica Garrett. That's his real name. You look good, baby.
Who, again, I will say is in my yoga class. And let me tell you, he got all the moves, girl.
Do you stand behind him in yoga class?
I put my mat next to him, and I just kind of blush, and he is beautiful. Hannah, you got to see him. Yes, so she brought Luke, which was kind of interesting. And then Jay Ellis, Blue, comes in, and who does he bring?
And you know what we said at the very beginning of this season? We were like, Sierra is going to come back. And she has. It's only taken us 14 episodes, but she's come back.
Exactly.
She came back.
So he strolls in with Sierra, and I could just see the look on Keira's face. It was just like, smack.
But wait, but hold on, okay, because she told him he should probably bring somebody because she's bringing her boo.
But she didn't think she was going to bring, because again, Sierra and Keira are girls. She had no idea, because when they seen each other, they're, oh, hey, girl. But you could just tell. Like,
but whose fault is that? I will say that because I think Keira is stupid because that's your girl. That's your friend. That's your homie. As Sierra says, we talk every week. Every week. And you never once mentioned to her that you was kicking it with Blue.
And again, she lost her virginity, her V card. Like, of course you're going to tell your girl who you lost it to if that's your girl. So Sierra has every right to be upset in this scene.
But do you agree with what Sierra says, which is she basically has ownership over Blue because she messed with him first?
Yes.
You agree with that?
I do. If one of my girls hooks up even a one night with somebody, I feel like that's off limits. And if, it wasn't anything special and you do feel a true connection with that person, I feel like you need to go to your girl and talk to them, because I think it is disrespectful, because you never want to make somebody feel stupid. And Sierra clearly was the only one who didn't know what was going on in that room.
Right.
Luke even knew and told Sierra, they've been smashing. That's why they're going back and forth arguing.
Right. And I wasn't mad at Sierra for that part. I think if Keira is truly Sierra's friend, she would have told her. She would have said, hey, even before the whole smashing part went down, she should have told her, like, hey, I'm kicking it with Blue. I'm his sunbeam. Like, I'm kicking it with him more. How does it make you feel?
Or on top of that, okay, so Keira kind of had Blue first in the sense of that whole PR publicity stunt. But after Keira seen Sierra hooking up with him, she should have said, you know, I do have some feelings for him. Or again, when they started kicking it afterwards, have said something. Because obviously Sierra was just left in the dark. And I know she's a star and she's back and forth. And I found it kind of interesting how Keira was like, that was just a one-night stand. That ain't your boo.
Right. So that was her reasoning within her head why she didn't tell her friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's no big deal. But it kind of is. You lost your virginity to somebody and you talked to your friend who smashed him first.
Deal. Yeah, you guys watching and listening, please let us know what you think. Do you think Keira should have said something to Sierra? Or do you think she had every right to, you know, keep it to herself? It's her own business.
Right.
We'd like to know.
And if you'd like to support us here at AfterBuzz TV, make sure you go to Adventures of Serial Buddies. It's a new movie. It's a great movie. It's a serial killer buddy hanging out. We kill people. I can't even tell you. It's really funny though.
But it's funny. It's not so
funny.
serious.
So make sure you go to serialbuddies.com. I mean, Maria Menounos is in it, and her and Kevin Undergaro both produced this, as well as founded AfterBuzz TV. So if you love us here at AfterBuzz TV and you love the free programming that we give you, and if you love the commentaries on your favorite shows, make sure you go to serialbuddies.com, download the movie. You can also go to iTunes. We need the support. We love the support, and we're glad to do this for you. And you're gonna love the movie.
Yeah,
so make sure you check it out.
If you guys want us to keep on coming back and giving you great juicy gossip and having, you know, the celebs come in here and rub elbows and talk to us, you know, you gotta support us.
Right.
That's what helps us out. That's what keeps us in here.
Yes.
So yeah, the photo shoot was kind of crazy. Cray.
And then
we had a lot of people getting upset.
Everybody leaving. So first we've got Rick Fox leaving because Derek Blanks, who's a celebrity photographer in Atlanta. Shout out to Derek Blanks. He did a really good job. He does great photos too, by the way. So he tells Rick to spin a basketball on his finger.
But the way he said it, he was like, "Hey Rick, do you still know how to?" And right there, do you still know how to spin, you know, a basketball on your finger? At first, when he said it, I was just like, oh, you know, maybe he just wants to spin the ball. No, but I think he was throwing cheap shots at Rick, and obviously Rick is insecure, so he was like, I don't know, I'm out of this. I didn't even want to do this in the first place. And, you know, Tasha's like, oh, but baby, you know, it's okay. And then she had to leave.
So do you think she should have left?
No.
Because that's her son.
No, yeah. Your son comes first.
Okay. I don't know what to say.
Because in an hour after the photo shoot's over, she's going to go and console him anyway.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I kind of think that I see on one hand how she's supportive of her man. She knows his struggle. She knows that this is a sensitive part of him, especially because he wants to be a stand-up comedian and that's a big fail. So she knows his sensitivity and she's sensitive to that. So she's like, let me go take care of him. Yeah. My son will be okay while all these white people and a few of these black people that are already in this photo shoot, we're good. Okay. So I see that. So, but also professionalism. She was there to be there for her son. So I see why she probably should have stayed.
Yeah. Second person to walk off the photo shoot.
Hold on, before we do that, we do need to talk about Rick Fox and his stand-up comedy. Do you think she should have supported him with his stand-up comedy?
Honestly, that whole stand-up thing was so left field. I'm like, Rick, you ain't funny.
But that brings a good question up, because there's a lot of people who, you know, with your loved ones, if somebody really wants to do something, if it's their dream, but they're horrific at it, do you kill the dream? Or do you say, you know what, you go ahead and do that. I don't know how it's going to get done, but you do it. What do you do?
I think you should be honest. I dreamt I wanted to be a singer. And I cannot hit. No, I can rap though. Y'all should hear my mic checks. Lord. I can rap.
I can sing, and I'm gonna be a singer one day. Somewhere.
Stick to hosting. Thank you for shutting off her mic. Thank you.
Hold on, wait a minute. up, Stephen? No, but I'm saying, so if your loved one, whoever you're dating, whoever you're married to, whatever, has this dream that's really a bit, you see the excitement in Rick. He's excited to talk about stand-up comedy, and he does it, and he's horrible. And, Tasha goes along with it. Is that the right thing to do, or should you be realistic with that person and say, it's probably not going to work?
Yeah, I think you need to be realistic, but you could be also supportive. Hey, Rick, you should start taking comedy classes. If that's something you really want to do. But yeah, I don't think it's going to last too long. I think Tasha's usually, pretty brutal and honest with certain things, and I think she'll end up telling him, this ain't gonna work.
Well, I think she did the right thing. She didn't kill his dream, no matter how horrible he was, and I think that's good. That shows you how much support she has for him. Because she could, she does tell people like, oh, that's not gonna work, but she realizes again that this is something very big and deep to him. So she's like, the joke was up here, and I was down here, and I had to go up to the joke. So
if anybody needs to do comedy, it's Tasha.
Right.
She be making me laugh. I'm like, this lady is an amazing actress.
Wendy Raquel Robinson, you're the bomb.
Every episode, she just brings her A game. And you know who else I think is an amazing actor? Is Jason Pitts. I don't know his real name.
Kobe Bell.
Kobe Bell, there we go. He is such an amazing actor. When they were doing the photo shoot, he's so funny. He has his glasses on, and the photographer's like, listen, buddy, you need to take those glasses off. And when he took the glasses off, every time they flashed the camera, he was getting dizzy, and he ended up having to walk off.
I didn't know that was a side effect of concussions.
Well, I think it's like the sunlight or brightness, because it all has to affect your eyes and your brain. But yeah, so
I didn't know that.
He had to walk off.
And then, of course, he's mad because Chardonnay brings him cheese and crackers. And he's like, where the weenies at? Ask for weenies. And he didn't ask for weenies.
He is a mess. But when he walked off, he went into like a food cabinet and was sitting down in the kitchen. And Chardonnay walked over there, and he had like an ice pack on his head. And he kind of admitted to her, like, I think this concussion might be more serious than what I thought it was. And Chardonnay, which I was surprised, because I think she likes him being in the limelight, and she's liking this new, I'm a football player's wife now, not a former football player wife. But she kind of even broke it down to him too, and I think this is where we see that their love is really growing, and it's starting to be more genuine than when it first started. She told him, like, I think you need to hang up your cleats.
Right.
And I think she's right, and I know he doesn't want to hear it because, again, he said that he cheated, and everybody was like, what, cheated? What are you talking about, cheated? Even Chardonnay was like, what? I'm going to cut you. You did not cheat. And he was just like, no, I cheated on my career. The last time I brought the city a title, I won a Super Bowl, I was on steroids.
Yeah, and you remember that from season, what was it, 4 maybe? I think, I'm not sure if it's 4 or 5. But yes, that was the thing when him and Kelly were going through a divorce.
And she said,
you remember, she was like, I'm going to tell everybody that you're on steroids. And that was the biggest, that was a shock. Like, what? Jason Pitts is on steroids. What?
You'd think he'd be too cheap to buy the steroids.
Right. But that's how he got the city their championship. And so he admits those two things. He admits to her that this concussion is more serious. And guess what? I'm going to still play. I'm sorry. I have to. And that he was on steroids. So this was a touching moment because you see at that point, I thought she was going to leave because he basically told her, like, you really don't have a say here. I'm going to keep playing. Yeah. She's just kind of like, well, what about me? I need you as my husband. I need you here. And instead of walking away after he checks her, like, sorry for you, I'm going to keep doing this, she stays there. She puts her head on his shoulder, and they just sit there and kind of cry together. And I was like, that's so beautiful. This is why they're my favorite.
They are. I thought it was beautiful, too, that he opened up about him cheating, but he also wanted to prove it to himself that he can do it without, doing drugs. And it kind of, again, shows you the inside of what an athlete really goes through, the different things. Here, my phone's going off. Shout out to Ashley. She's texting me. She's watching. And she's feeling better. We had a great time with our little hosting gathering on Saturday. But yeah, it's just nice to see that different side of the athlete. And it never dawned on me. I thought he was just being stubborn because he wanted to make more money.
Right.
And Chardonnay said that too. She was like, what are you trying to prove? You want more money? You want more fame? And he's like, no, I want to be able to do this and prove to myself that I can be a great athlete. And I know there's a lot of athletes out there who probably go through the same thing, who maybe have taken enhancements or done things, that not naturally. And then maybe they are filled with regret and wonder, could have I really done it without that?
But I think at this point it's too late. I'm sorry, Jason. You're gonna have to.
I agree.
To hang up the cleats like your wife says, because he will end up, having Parkinson's disease or early onset Alzheimer's or something crazy. You never know. Your brain is sensitive. You got to be careful about these things. And so he's getting older in age. He don't have that bounce back like he used to. So he's got to be careful. And now you've got this loving wife, this crazy girl who really, truly, genuinely loves you, and she doesn't want to be a widow. And you're you're basically like, I'm sorry, I got to do this for myself. And so I get that. You want to do something for yourself, but when you're married, you're no longer by yourself. Okay. You got to think about us, not think about yourself. And so he really needs to take time off and to say, you know what, maybe I didn't get a chance to prove it to myself, but I think I probably could have did it. Who cares? I got my ring. At least I didn't get blown up in front of the public eye for doing steroids. You better count your blessings, Jason Pitts.
Seriously.
You know what I mean?
Walk away. Wash your hands clean while you can.
Right. So I don't know. I think he should just hang it up.
I agree. I wonder, for some reason, I'm just thinking of Kelly Pitts, and I'm wondering, where is she at in her life? How did she feel about him playing football again? We know that she loves him being a football player, so I wonder if she's like, oh, he's back in the game. I wonder if she even knows that he's married again.
She probably does, because Brittany, their daughter.
Oh, this is true.
They have a daughter.
This is true.
I'm sure she knows.
Yeah, I
what's going on.
didn't think of that. Yeah, where is Brittany?
She's probably at her mama's house.
Yeah, she hasn't been over.
Joint custody, I guess.
I know. Yeah. We'll have to see about that. Back to the photo shoot.
Right.
Okay.
So then Sierra, Blue, they have this conversation. Oh, Sierra and Luke.
Yes.
What do you think about Luke knowing that Blue and Keira have smashed?
I think guys see things differently, and he's probably just having a good time with Keira. He's just like, oh, I've been with her and her and her, and she's probably been with him and him and him, and this probably looks good because we're both actors, and now we're kind of seeing each other. He's another Rick Fox to me. He doesn't seem like the lights are always on. You know what I'm saying?
With his braided belt.
Yes, with his braided. Blue kills me. He
does.
First talking about his eyebrows.
He's such a hater.
He is
Just a
then
hater.
The braided belt, but I mean,'d be a hater too if I see the girl that I smashed
that I really genuinely loved deep down inside.
Took away her V card,
and now she's with this
shacking up with
beefcake.
this, who's an actor and good looking. Okay, so they are on set. Luke and Keira. And did you notice how Keira and Blue were standing? They were all close to each other. It was so obvious.
So why was her placement in front of... That was weird, too. Her placement was in front of Blue, and Sierra's placement was in front of Luke. They should have switched places.
Yes, it was so crazy. Awkward.
Right.
I'm just like, if any... I know I know Blue and Keira didn't notice it, but if I was Sierra and I was Luke, I would have been like... Well, she ended up eventually saying that.
Exactly. She's like, what's going on here? Because it's them liking each other is so obvious. Yeah. Everybody can see it. So I think it was really sad for Sierra because now here you are. Everybody knows but you.
That's the worst feeling. Yeah. I would be furious, and I can understand why she ain't messing with Keira no more. Like, you are my girl. And this is one thing I can say. I think if I was in Sierra's shoes, I would think, you know what? I can expect this of Blue. He's an athlete. He's new to the game. Like, this is what he does. And her being an entertainer, she knows how it is. But when it's your girl, there's a problem.
Right. And sorry, Keira, I don't blame her for not want to talk to you.
Yes. So Sierra storms off the photo shoot Luke is like, what am I gonna do? I might as well just, storm off too.
Right.
Then Keira goes, and then now Malik is pissed because also he's still kind of upset. I think that he took away Keira's V card deep down inside. I know he tried to, I know he tried to play cool, but again, that's his homegirl. So Blue is kind of just like, well, I should go too, right? And Malik's like, yeah, I'm gonna kick your butt if you don't get off this shoot, because what's the point of you being here? You're starting trouble on my big day. So then he's just left there with all these white people.
Right. Oh, the white people and basically water. Awesome. And then here comes Franco.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yes. So his assistant, her baby daddy, the rapper Franco, storms into the photo shoot and is like, Malik, I gotta talk to you. And he's just like, what are you doing? This is my photo shoot. What's good? And Franco's like, I seen the messages, because I sometimes check through my baby mama's phone, and I seen your naked pictures and pictures of his private parts, and he's scrolling through the pictures of you and my son at Disney World, at aquarium, you and more private parts. And then he's like,
no, not him and his son, just like Tori and her son. So he was going, because remember, Malik's never met the little boy.
No.
So what he's saying is he was scrolling through her email. He said he went through her email from time to time. So he's looking at some of the pictures I guess she has in there. I don't know. And then so he sees like, oh, Disneyland, SeaWorld, penis.
Oh, see, I thought he was upset.
You're Steven laughing. Yeah, so he's like penis, and then something else and another penis.
This is even more funny. Malik was just like, well, how do you know it's my penis? And then they show him, and he's like, oh, I forgot to crop my head out. Note to the wise. Note to Steven, crop your head out.
Right. Don't ever text or sext your pictures and your head's still in them.
They had a whole episode of Blue Mountain State on football players doing this.
I'll tell you.
It's so hilarious.
It's an epidemic.
You never know. There's a whole bunch of people on MediaTakeout.com, all types of athletes and entertainers, and you see those pictures.
Cut the head off.
And if you have identifiable tattoos, I'm sorry. You don't need to be taking no kind of pictures. Because you can always tell.
And Jay, he got some noticeable tattoos. So
we about that man's tattoos.
We will know if it's you now, but he's beautiful. Anyway, so back to those pictures. See, I got it differently. I thought he was upset not only because he was hooking up with his baby mama, but he was also spending time with the son.
No, because Malik's never met the boy.
No, but we seen him meet him, and I'm thinking after that day that he met him, maybe since he knew, then she started taking him around him, and they went to Disney World.
He was saying he was just going through. He was looking at her pictures. He's like, oh, here's SeaWorld. Here's I guess Tori and her little son named Brandon.
Okay.
Here's them at Disneyland. Oh, and here's a penis picture. Another penis picture.
I thought that dynamic was so awkward because, he interacts with his assistant and also was hooking up with her. But then also the new girl, Lexi, he's working with her. Reese. Why did I think Lexi? Who's Lexi?
I don't know, honey. You have another show.
Lexi just popped into my head.
Another show.
Maybe Lexi's coming up. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's another show. Reese. He's sleeping with Reese, but also, and both Reese and his assistant are both on the photo shoot, and they're just like interacting and being cool. I don't know, as a woman, I don't care if it's business or not, but I think when you mix pleasure, there's always going to be some type of jealousy, even if I was the assistant and I seen this girl Reese running stuff and I know that they've been hooking up, I would feel a certain type of way.
Well, I will say in this sense that these women are being professionals. They're not allowing the fact that both of them have slept with Malik to affect their work, which is kind of unusual, I will
Hannah's
say.
like, I want to be putting up with that.
Right, and I wouldn't either. I just
over
think
your face.
But I think when you're dealing with Malik, right, you have to understand that comes with the territory. If you're not okay with that, then you can't talk to him.
See, I would be too sensitive to work for Malik.
I know, and that's why I don't like Reese anymore. I hate her guts. I hate your guts, Reese Shabani. Because how are you an upstanding entrepreneur, businesswoman, you take care of business, and you're okay with the fact that this man who has slept with his assistant, the assistant still works for him, at least at this point. Yeah. The assistant still works for him, bringing her drama with the penis pics, all this stuff. Like, that's just so weird.
You know what I think?
And he never mentioned it to her that they slept together. I'm sure she had an inkling, but he never mentioned it to her beforehand.
I don't think Reese really likes Malik. I think she really has this vendetta to go after her father. And, you know, she's not only doing that with trying to help Malik in his career, but also by hooking up with him. I think there's some satisfaction of, hey, I'm hooking up with the guy that my daddy doesn't even want me to work with.
She does say that. Remember at the very beginning, she says, like, you know, my dad didn't want to do business with you. Now you're giving me the business. Now he's going to want to give you the business.
And Malik is like, sweetie, that's a bad metaphor.
Right. Like your analogy is off.
Yes, stop right there.
Right. So, I mean, so I think you're right in that sense. I think she's getting some satisfaction knowing that my dad would not like this, but I'm going to make Malik a star, and then I'm going to get the approval from my father.
Yeah. But I think it's awkward that his assistant does it. Or maybe she does feel a certain type of way, but she's just dealing with it because she knows that that job is important to her, and that's all she has. And we kind of see later on in the episode.
She gets fired. We might as well just say it.
Yeah.
You get fired. But do you think she gets fired? Do you think it was legitimate?
No.
It was she should have got fired? I think she should have got fired. I mean, you bring your drama to, this is a man's professional photo shoot. Photographers get paid, what, probably hourly, right?
Yeah.
So now you're causing some drama to go down, and they're probably going to have to pay Derek Blanks because he's not a cheap photographer.
But I will say this. It is a professional photo shoot. But again, Malik is not professional.
True, but that's Malik, and he's allowed to do that because it's his business. He can be as unprofessional as he wants to be because it's Malik Wright Inc. It's not Tory Inc. It's not anybody else's Inc. And that's the one thing you have to understand when you work for a high-profile person. If they want to mess up, that's fine. That doesn't give you the license to because your name is not on the marquee.
See, if I was her, I'd be like, listen, I'm giving it to you and I'm working hard for you. You're going to let me slip up here and you're going to give me a card because guess what? You've been getting my cards.
Well, that's her fault, honey. You still don't get any room just because you're smashing the bars.
This is true, but I feel like there should be some leeway in it. You know, I think...
And I think he gave her leeway when she brought her son to his house. She never told him.
Okay.
Yeah, she never told him that she had a son. She never cleared it with him to bring her son to her place of work. That's the problem. Okay, we all got issues. We all got home stuff going on, but you gotta let people know what's going on. You can't just bring your kid to your job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's even if it was in an office. You can't just bring your kid there. You gotta tell somebody.
You guys out there watching, what do you think? Do you think it was right for Malik to fire his assistant for the drama that went down on the photo shoot, or do you think he should give her a pass because, you know, he's doing some unprofessional things with her anyway?
Yes. And then we go to what? Reese telling Malik that he needs new friends. No new friends. No new friends.
Sound like the Drake song.
Right. So.
No new.
Oh, gosh. We all need to stick to our day jobs. No, so should. I feel some kind of way about that because Reese is. Obviously, she's trying to take Malik to the next level, but she's basically telling him, like, look, all your friends and your family walked out. And could you fire your mama? Oh, you can't do that. But could you?
When she said that, I was just like...
This is not going to be good. She's going to try to isolate him from everybody.
She is. She's going to try to control him and isolate him, and hopefully he doesn't have a relapse with the alcohol. That's one thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, and I think he will because that's the one thing about an addiction. You're supposed to get support.
Exactly.
And so when you cut somebody off from all of their support, then what else do they turn to? They turn to what's familiar, and that's back to their addiction.
Exactly. That was the first thing I thought of when she said to fire basically everybody and cut them off. I was just like, he needs that support because he's going to start drinking again. It's going to get out of control. And next thing you know, he's going to mess up his football career, which he's taken some time to build it back up again. Right. He was at the bottom and now he's trying to come back to the top. We don't want to see you at the bottom again, Malik. But yeah, I want to get rid of this girl, Reese.
Yes.
Melise. I sound like Tasha Mack putting two names together.
Especially she's like, you know, we got to fire your mom. I mean, yes, Tasha Mack's crazy, but Tasha Mack has been there since he was born. Yes. Okay, and she's going to help him become the athlete that he is. So
exactly.
No matter how crazy she is.
Now, don't let Mama Tasha Mack know that she's trying to get fired from his new. What would you even call her?
I don't know. She's like still a momager. She's always going to be a momager.
No, what would you call Reese's position?
Oh, Reese is like his consultant. She's an investor / consultant.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah, she's starting to be controlling, and I think she started sleeping with him to gain more control.
Or maybe she is sleeping with him because she's spending more time with him. She likes him a lot. No?
I don't know.
You're like, no.
She got a vendetta for her daddy, and she's gonna play her cards until she can win.
Yeah.
So yeah, that scene was interesting. I want to get rid of her. I don't like her. One person I don't want to get rid of is Luke just yet.
Oh, yes, don't get rid of him. Especially because at the end, we see him holding Keira as she cries because Sierra doesn't answer the phone, which, why would Sierra answer the phone at this point? But he was there to comfort her, and that was really good.
Yeah.
And then you see Blue dialing. Should he have called Keira? He was contemplating. Should he have done it?
No. I don't think so.
Why?
I feel like Keira made her own bed. Now she got to lay in it. Like, you know, you're a grown woman now, you know?
Right.
And I don't think Blue did anything wrong in this situation.
He didn't do anything wrong. But I think he really loves her. He just needs to, they just need to, come on, just go ahead and talk. Just go ahead and tell her, I love you, girl.
I think that's, you know, the characters in this whole show, they need to communicate better.
Right.
I feel like if they all, I think I've said this before, if they all just sit down with a therapist and get it out, and, you know, I think they all want love and they want support and they just don't know how to show it.
Right.
And that money, that fame, that limelight can get to their heads.
And I think this episode should have been called Soft Spot, because think about it. Every couple had some kind of like soft spot. So it was Chardonnay and Jason had their tender moment, and then Rick and Tasha have their tender moment. You know, she's like holding his head after he ate all them donuts and his gut was hanging.
Let me tell you, when he walked in, I was like, ew, Rick Fox. You
got a
need to
big
come fit with
stomach.
Fallon and do some workouts. So
He still looks good though. I'm sorry, even with his gut, he still looks good.
He does look good, but that shirt was a little too tight and that belly was a little too big. I mean, his smile and his salt and pepper hair makes up for it.
Right.
But I was just like, no, Rick, you can't let yourself go. You can't be that former good-looking athlete. You know, you got to keep it fit. Keep it tight.
You're right. He's still cute though. Hey,
He
Rick.
is. Yeah. So seeing a different side of Rick, that was nice.
And then, of course, Blue and Keira. So Blue at the end has this little tender moment, like, I'm going to call her. I'm not going to call her.
Yeah, even Jason opening up and having that moment with Chardonnay. Yeah. Soft spot.
Let's talk about these predictions then. Where's our prediction music? We don't have prediction music anymore?
There we go. There we go.
And now, you're after
Dramatic pause, guys.
All right, so for predictions, I predict that Sierra is going to make up with Keira, or Keira is going to make up with Sierra. I think they're going to get their friendship back intact, but it's going to take the help of Blue to coordinate that and get that back together. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think they're going to talk anymore. I don't think we need Sierra anymore in this
We
series.
don't need her, but I think in order for Keira to get on and she just seems like she holds on to a lot of things. And I think for her to move on with her relationship with Blue, she's going to have to be forgiven.
Okay, I can see it. I can dig it. I think from the little sneak peek we got for next week's episode, we see Chardonnay with her bags at Tasha's door.
Oh.
So I think... But,
dramatic Jason, let me tell you. He is so... But I love that. But he is dramatic. He did probably kick her out.
I don't know. She might have left.
Do you think so?
Because, yeah, she might have been like, I can't deal with you killing... I can't watch you kill yourself. She might have left. I don't know. So, but I think they're going to end up getting back together. She's going to get back home. That's her boo thing. She's not going to be gone for too long. And I do...
Do you think Rick Fox is going to be a comedian?
No. Girl, please. Child, please. He's going to try.
Yeah.
Child, please. He's not going to do it. And then I also think that Blue and Keira will get back together, but not next episode. I don't know when.
No. Definitely later. You guys out there, please rate, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you think is going to happen next episode. You guys got to start calling in. We got to start shouting out the number next episode.
Right.
We got to get some call-ins. We're also working on Jay Ellis's mama coming in the house. Hopefully, Jay Ellis and a couple other guests.
Rappin' Dunbar, a.k.a. Pookie.
Oh, yes, Pookie, and a couple other people. So you guys got to keep on watching.
Right.
You guys can find me on Twitter at FitWithFallon, on Instagram, and please go to fitwithfallon.com. We need your hits. Right, Hannah? Where can they find you, Meg?
You can always find me on yo Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. And don't forget to also go to StereoBuddies.com, download the movie, and support us here at AfterBuzz TV because we love talking to you every week.
And we love you. We love our fans. We will see you next week. AfterBuzz TV The Game.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.